Now that is kind of a stretch. None of us in this room have ever said that to God. We've never written out a contract, expected a signature, and said, when I get these things, love will be yours. We've never really done that. At the same point, we kind of have done that. When we look at our reaction to difficult situations, when we look at our reaction to something that, you really feel like you need, maybe something a little more serious. God, I need that grade. I messed up, and I really need to do good in this class. And then all of a sudden, a couple things turn around, not like they're supposed to, you think, and you're not doing as good as you had hoped. You're like, man, thanks, God. See that you're looking out for me. What about on a more serious note than that even? What about family members that someone gets diagnosed with something, or someone dies, something that happens often in our country and friends of ours, and God forbid us, something like that happens, and all of a sudden you're thinking, man, where's the God that I thought I was supposed to love? Why doesn't he love me? Where's he at? Where is this guy? I'm so angry. I'm so upset. God, do you even exist? If there's a loving God, would these things happen to me? And I'm not talking today to say that emotions are wrong, to say that you shouldn't be feeling bad about tough situations. Those are completely normal. But the discipline that I'm talking about today is loving Jesus, openly loving Jesus, even when it doesn't make sense to you, when everything is going wrong. A couple years ago, I was sitting in my room. I don't know what I was doing, but it turned out to be cool. And I'm sitting there, and I was just thinking, man, what if all this stuff, this bed that I'm sitting on, the mirror on my wall, the lamp, everything that I have, literally everything, including my family, the clothes on my back, what if everything that I had was taken from me? Would I seriously, and I pictured myself kind of kidnapped in a dungeon. I did, it's kind of cheesy, but I pictured myself there. Maybe I went off to war and I was a POW, and who knows. But what if everything that I had was stricken from me, like Job in the Bible loses his family, he loses his house, his cattle, he loses everything. If something like that happened to me, Jesus, would I still love you? And at that point, and at this point, I'm still trying to figure out, I don't know how to handle that. I don't know how to answer that question. If everything I had was gone, I have this whole kind of spinal cord that keeps me intact. My family loves Jesus. My friends love Jesus. I have kind of this cushion that if I'm going wrong, I kind of bounce back and they kind of help me out. And it's kind of this ping pong machine of spirituality. But what if those borders were gone and those things were out? Would I just fly off the table and do whatever? If everything I had was gone, would I still love you, Jesus? John 21:15-17. Jesus died. He was raised from the dead, and he's back hanging out with the disciples after his death and his miraculous resurrection, walking with them on the beach at a lake, great spot, getting suntanned and everything, with a dead guy, live guy, don't know what to call him guy. But his name's Jesus, and this is what goes down. When they had finished eating, Jesus said to Simon Peter, "Simon, son of John, do you truly love me more than these?" "Yes, Lord," he said, "you know that I love you." He's asking Peter, do you love me more than these other people? Because earlier before I died, you said that you would stick with me no matter what. You'd stick with me to death. Do you love me more than these? Jesus said, "Feed my lambs." Again, Jesus said, "Simon, son of John, do you truly love me?" He answered, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." Jesus said, "Take care of my sheep." The third time he said to him, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" Peter was hurt because Jesus asked him the third time, "Do you love me?" He said, "Lord, you know all things. You know that I love you." Jesus said, "Feed my sheep." To step back, before Jesus' death, he said that Peter was going to betray him. He said he was going to deny him 3 times. Peter says that's not going to happen. And just a few short hours later, 3 people approach him, groups of people say, hey, you're with Jesus from Galilee. You're that guy. No, I'm not that guy. You're with Jesus from Nazareth. You're that guy. No, I'm not that guy. Hey, you're that guy. No, I know it's you. I recognize that accent. You're Jesus' right-hand man. You're the Rock. No, I don't even swear word know that guy. He denies Jesus 3 times before he knows it. The rooster crows, and it says that he walked outside and he wept bitterly. His hero, this dear friend of his, not just his friend, but this king, this son of God that he'd been following. He'd seen miracles. He'd seen miraculous things. And he said, I will always be there for you, Jesus. I will always be there for you. And he denies him, not even just saying, I don't know what you're talking about. He's saying, I don't even know that man. Trying to find a whole different identity separate from an identity belonging to Jesus. And so if you go back to John, in this verse, Jesus is confronting him. Peter, do you love me? And I just picture, I can imagine the emotion in this conversation. The emotion between here, because as Peter said, back then, yeah, of course I love you, and I'm not going to betray you, I'm not going to deny you, I'm not going to do these things. But then he did them, and Jesus is asking him about it. And if you imagine if you did something like that to a father or to a grandpa, or somebody that means something so dear to you, and they're in a time of trouble, or they're accused for something they didn't do, and you're like, I don't know. I don't even know that person, and you're part of your blood, how would you feel? And I imagine Peter, tough guy, big beard, but he's got the biggest lump in his throat right now. And he's saying, yes, Jesus, you know that I love you. Yes, Jesus, you know that I love you. But then Jesus doesn't want to just take his word for it this time. He says, if you love me now, I want to see it. If you love me, feed my sheep. Take care of my people. I want to see it, not just in your words, but in your actions, in your reactions, despite whatever you're going through. That is a principle we need to focus on today that is so difficult. There's so many difficult things that go on in life. I mean, from a vast array they're unique to all of us. And we're supposed to love Jesus through these things? That sounds impossible. But the reason we love Jesus, the reason we do these things, is not because necessarily he's done great things for us, or not only because he has blessed us with all these things, but we choose to love God, to love Jesus, because he is King, God is Creator, and he deserves it. That is why we love. And if we don't get anything else from him the rest of our lives, we still must choose to love the King. Lord Jesus, give us wisdom, give us strength. We love you. We love you.